Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature on our legendary third segment where who knows what the fuck we're going to say. We really hope you enjoyed our second feature, Venus in Furs, and I sure did. This was the first time I saw this movie, and I rather liked it.
What do you think? I'm interested in your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It was bullshit, but it was like totally awesome bullshit. Because and I saw the ending coming a mile away. Maybe because you guys spoiled it for me. Thanks, guys. But you really didn't
I
have
didn't
to spoil
spoil
it.
it.
It was
It's
me.
not hard to see. Somebody did. I don't remember.
It was me.
It's the third segment. I can't remember. But yeah, I really dig it, and I thought it was strangely. It's a lot different than Succubus. I don't know,
Yeah.
like at least how I remember Succubus, because it's been a long time since I saw it, but it's a lot better than Succubus, I think. So I think maybe AC Nicholas, did you say that you?
Yeah,
You
I
think
did.
this
I
is-
like it a lot better than Succubus. I mean, they both have a kind of feel of the era and they're big budget Franco, but this one to me is fantastic.
Sam, I know you're just dying
Oh,
to say.
I'm happy to watch again. I love the end on the beach with him. Him running down the beach is my favorite part of it. So.
Yeah. And it's so literal. He actually says, "I'm dead."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Like first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is beautiful." I'm like, "Oh no, don't have any dialogue."
Yeah.
But
They could
I
have
love
stopped right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the dialogue in this movie because if you listen to it, it's so great. It's like she was beautiful even though she was dead. And
Yeah.
we had a connection even though she was dead. And it's a wild scene. And if that's your thing, you can dig it.
Darren asked, did he purposely choose to make sure?
Yeah.
I think he just made whatever he had the money to make when he had the money to make it. And if that meant sometimes shooting 3 or 4 films at the same time and recycling footage, or even at the end just shooting stuff on video and getting what he got, that's what he did.
Yeah.
I read someone on Letterboxd today said it was like literally like he like punched in the clock when he went to work. And it was like, well, time to make a movie. You don't know what it's going to be about, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the person that has it the worst in this movie is Rita. He's like, she's like, you can still dream about that other girl, and I'm okay with that. I'll take care of you. I rescued you from whatever happened in Istanbul, and he's just like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, Dan says the music was tops. Venus in fur will be standing. Yeah, it is great. You'll never forget it once you hear it.
Yeah.
I dug that little performance she did at the very end.
Yeah,
We finally
great.
got to hear the song in its entirety. I don't think they played it before that. Just the little snippets, you would hear her singing it. Her voice would start wafting into the scene.
Yeah, McNair's good in this too.
One member of the Panica family did not enjoy it as much as me, and that's bad. She said, what was your quote? Tell us what you think of the movie. I don't know. Also earlier, this is stupid.
Oh.
It's a fair assessment.
What is happening? And I said, it just is weird. She's like, this is one of your movies. You tell me what's happening. And I was like, okay. So
yeah,
it is very Lynchian. I mean, to use that term, it is before David Lynch was around.
And Steve said that little music video at the end was awesome. I 100% agree. Like, there's
totally.
A couple of moments in here that are very music video.
Oh, Darren, the makeup. You mentioned the liquid eyeliner. The makeup in this movie, I love when she's a corpse and she washes up on the shore, and somehow her makeup is perfect. Like, and how long was she in the water? I mean, she wasn't even pruning.
No. Becca said the jazz is good. She like to say that the only good part of this movie is the jazz. She likes that. So
she didn't like the clothes?
Yeah, she liked the clothes.
I would have thought you would have liked the clothes, Becca.
Yes,
there were some fabulous outfits in this.
On the movie?
I love that she. And there was the whole ending that was like that urban legend, The Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what the one I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the girl's not there, where you pick her up and you bring her back.
Yeah, and like he goes inside the house to meet her mother, And when he walks back, the mother takes him to this little cemetery, and he walks past the car, and there's nobody in it. And they go to this girl's grave, and right there on the grave is the coat that he put on her. And
Isn't
that was
that in
exactly what happened in this movie.
that isn't that the urban legend that's in the one that has two narrators?
Yes,
Yeah,
Encounters with the Unknown.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I knew it because it was on this one of those um, records where they had spooky stories, and it
Oh
was a
yeah,
Wade Denning record called Famous Ghost Stories, and the Hitchhiker was the scariest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
they kind of have a variation of that at the end of the movie, The Midnight Hour, where he puts that girl's jacket back on, or his jacket on her grave at the end. You know, the girl who was the zombie that he falls for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of spooky. I mean, someone made a Count Floyd reference earlier.
Yeah.
But this really is not a horror movie, but it does have supernatural overtones, and especially that ending is very horror movie, with her coat being on the grave, and you knew she was dead the whole time, but to have the character have to confront this she was a ghost or whatever the hell she was, a revenant during the
Yeah.
whole film, and he was too.
She's kind of like the sin that they committed against her coming back, like the guilt of it, and the the punishment kind of coming back.
Yeah, maybe M. Night Shyamalan watched this. Who knows, right? Same kind of ending.
What a twist!
He
What a
watched
twist,
something.
exactly. Yeah, well, he saw Carnival of Souls. That's what I think. But
Yeah,
now this thing's great. I mean, it's got travelogue footage. It's got
oh,
beautiful.
the raining part where it's raining and they're still doing those really complicated carnival dances is really really great. It's got a linoleum floor where a lounge show is happening.
Mm-hmm.
This was beautifully photographed, and so was Succubus.
Yeah, they're his expensive period. Working with Harry Allen Towers.
Yeah, this is
Sam, what are some other Jess Franco movies that had a budget like this?
I would say Succubus, maybe close to it. The Fu Manchu, two Fu Manchu movies he did. For
Bloody Judge has big battle scenes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got some money.
I'd say of his later stuff, probably Faceless has close to this budget.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Moon probably doesn't.
Bloody Moon, yeah.
Yeah, Bloody Moon's close. These are the ones where he actually had a little more.
I forgot we did Bloody Moon on the show.
What was I have to get cut? Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, we did. I was on that show. That was the first one I did.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was Zader and Bloody Moon.
Oh,
right. I picked Zader, of course, because
Zader, you love that movie.
I do, and I try to pick something weird. Every time you guys have me on, let's see, I picked Zader, I picked The Psychic, probably the least seen Fulci movie, and of course the Kirlian Witness tonight. You have me on again. I love
The Psychic so much.
Oh, I know. It's a great movie. That's another one that really deserves a bigger cult. And I think we've actually started the Kirlian Witness cult tonight. Because that movie does not have a cult.
Planted it.
I'd like to claim that, but somebody did restore this movie recently. I'm not even sure who put it out.
True, but we're making these two films cults.
We're helping, at least.
We're helping for sure.
I don't know, because this is the first time I saw it, and I'll definitely seek this out. I would like to add this to my collection. I'm very selective about what I'll actually buy on Blu-ray, because I just don't like the idea of having so many movies. Because when you walk over to your shelf, you're like, "What the hell do I watch?" I got like that with VHS. Like I had so much VHS, and I said, "I'm not going to do that with Blu-ray. Like I'm only going to buy the shit that I really, really." I'm excited that this is.
Yeah, but Blu-ray. You know what though, Bill? There's always stuff to buy because stuff is so exciting. I mean,
they won't stop putting stuff out that's exciting for me.
I know.
So.
Yeah, I have Venus and Furs on the old Blue Underground DVD, and it looks beautiful. Although this version's even better.
Fantastic. Yeah, this one looks really nice. It's on Tubi.
Beautiful looking movie.
Yeah. Though I have that backwards problem where I look at my shelves and say, what else can
I
get?
know. No
But
judgment. No, I get it. Like
I
I
was
used to
looking
be
through
like that.
stuff. Speaking of important movies, though, and I was looking through my shelf the other day, and I was like, "Oh man, I bought Blast Fighter. I must have been really drunk one night. It was like, I need Blast Fighter, and I have it. So a movie that Fulci was supposed to make and didn't, and then it morphed into a Rambo ripoff instead of a post-apocalyptic film.
Vivi's
But
being camera shy.
Oh,
we were asked, could we do a Chris Sarandon double feature? We've done The Sentinel,
yeah.
but Lipstick or Fright Night.
Oh, Marco Deneuve said that. Yeah, we've done the Sentinel, but we didn't do Lipstick. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Finn says he won't pay $34 for a release. I don't like paying a lot of money either, but if it's something that I really am into, that I know, because I'd rather have the movie resurrected and pay a little bit more for it than pay $18, or not pay that, and then the movie doesn't get a Blu-ray release and it's just
Yeah.
gone. So I'll pay a little bit more if it's something I really, 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 really want.
I won't pay a lot for this mate or muffler.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this mate.
Yeah.
No, we want Day of the Triffids, right? We want Triffids.
How's the Criterion Collection not put that out? It seems like put out. So they're putting Targets out, and I can't remember.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
I love Targets. I think Targets is brilliant.
Bill, someone you don't like said, "Why would Criterion put out Targets? It's horrible." And I said, "Come on."
I don't remember who said that, and I don't want to be reminded either.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know why would Criterion lower themselves? And I'm like, they put out Chasing Amy. They're like,
who would say that? Like, who would make a statement like that?
Armageddon.
The bar for what Criterion puts out, is not
Targets
high.
is a beautiful film.
Yeah. But anyway, I was not pleased. I think I probably sent you a text about it in my anger. I have like a window that I hit, a level that I hit every day. The limit, I guess, as you would say, Bill. It's there comes a point in my social reading of the day where if I read any more of this, I'm gonna start sending shitty messages to people, and then I just have to back off. I can't look. So in case you ever see a day when I like fire off something mean about a director I don't like, or I say something.
I love those texts that I get from you.
I know. You're like
I live for those moments.
Yeah. Right. Can you believe this fucking shit?
Because usually when you and I text each other, we're just saying like, "Hey, what do you want to do on the show? Oh, look what I got in the mail." And then every once in a while there'll be an image of a social media post, and I can't read it because it's just an icon. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be good."
Yeah.
Because Sam had to clip it and send it to me. I'm like, "What is this gonna be? This is something juicy."
Yeah.
He never wastes my time with that shit. It's always good.
Very to the point. Like, look at this fucking asshole. It's a lot easier sending it to you than me just being really mean, and then people say, "Why are you so mean to that person?" I'm like, it's the straw that broke my back. It's like they said too much was said online, and that was the last person that
you see some crazy shit on social media. I don't like to say stuff like that on. I mean, I guess I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I did it now. I look back on it, I'm like, why was I doing that? I was just like, raging at somebody that I don't even know online. Like,
yeah, and I realize I'm not gonna change their mind. That's why I purposely get away from it now, because I'm like, I'm not gonna change their mind. And
it's so negative.
Well, it's like those people that post on social media, like on Joe Bob Briggs on Facebook. It'll be like, I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucks. Change my mind. It's like, you just want to say, fuck you. I don't, you have your opinion.
Who cares if you don't like it?
Exactly. You have your opinion. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm not going to try to change your mind.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Or as Mike just reminded me, Sybil Danning's social media is perfect. Her tweets are incredible. Because it's like, as soon as somebody dies, it's like, yeah, here's her in a swimsuit. I would never send her a mean message. I'd be like, oh. You know?
Yeah, there's my
Kind of a
I'm
Justin.
not gonna fuck with Sybil Danning. Are you kidding
Yeah, well,
me?
yeah, she kicked my ass and looked good doing it.
Can
She'll
we put
show
it
up
in
at
my
your
will
house with
that
a whip.
when we put it in my will that when I die, Sybil Banning has to do a tweet that says, "Noted fact, film lover Sam Panico dies. He saw Battle Beyond the Stars when he was 9. Here's a picture of me with Richard Crenna." And that's the whole tweet. And we're gonna just broadcast that into space. Yeah, I also dislike the post where it's like one of these movies disappears forever. Pick one.
Oh
Oh,
God,
that's
I
so
hate
stupid.
that.
It's like, come
That's so
Like
stupid.
that doesn't even make sense.
You know, the other one I hate now that you see I get littered a lot with are those lists. Like, here are 100 movies from the 80s that nobody's seen.
yeah.
And it's like, I've seen like 80 of them. So,
Well, it's the worst is when you get one of those in number one's Amityville Horror, and you're like, yeah, okay.
I don't question stuff like that anymore though, because I mean we're getting so old that there
Yeah.
is like a generation now that's below the one we thought was the youngest a couple of years ago, you know?
What's funny because I always think of that. Like I came out of Ant-Man last night, and some kids are like, yeah, it was all right. I'm like, do you remember? I'm like, oh no, you weren't around in like 1977 when Spider-Man was on TV, when all he had was a grappling hook. Like
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, you don't remember what we had. Also, my other favorite thing I had last night is I had on my Pieces shirt that says "Bastards." Some kids like, man, that shirt's awesome. I'm like, you know about Pieces? Because this kid was like 17, and he was like, what's that? And I'm like, the movie with the shirt is. He goes, I don't know. It's a Spanish horror movie. Because why? I definitely wouldn't have seen it. And I was like, oh, I thought we were gonna be friends. That was really.
Oh,
I was like,
bummer.
oh man, like someone's recognizing my Pieces shirt. Like,
So
that's
uncool.
no. He's like, no, I just like that you have swearing on your shirt. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I sometimes flash back to that moment when we had that screening of Pieces at the Regent Square, and that moment when Linda Day George just like lets go with that bastard. Just what happens in that theater when she does that. It's pretty special.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Some of the posts are just dumb. Like sell me on this. What movie should I watch next? Like I don't know.
I don't care. Pick a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. Why should I help you, right?
Yeah, like why will I like this? Like I don't know.
I don't care.
Yeah. I don't know you that well.
I'm getting more cynical in my old age. It's like I don't care.
Like I want people to discover things and like things and find things, but I also I don't know. Am I being too
why do you think you guys do this show? Because I learned stuff like I like My Brother Has Bad Dreams. I never would have found that movie.
Yeah.
Or the other stuff that you guys show. I mean, that's
where what I want to keep finding movies and enjoying stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Tubi's great for it because how else would I see Mirror Mirror 2, Raven Dance, and 3 and 4? Man, who knew that there were so many movies about haunted mirrors? Literally a furniture movie because the mirror is a big piece of furniture in it. Man, the furniture in Venus and Furs, Bill, what did you think of that and the clothes? I mean,
yeah, Bill, come on.
I was obsessed with where they lived.
Yeah.
I kept looking. I was like, none of this makes any sense. These villages where they lived, and there's this scene where he has her, and the scene at the end where they're in the villa or whatever that was, and the police come, and they're like, well, we want to talk to her. She's asleep upstairs, and they make that escape. He takes her out the side, and they run through this wooded area into what looks like the alley of a little village where his car is parked. And I was like, why is his car parked there? Why didn't the police already think of this? Like, they have to know that maybe they're going to make a run for their car. So you'd think they would have somebody posted there. And it was just weird. Like, I was obsessed with that. I love, like, the little European alleyways, especially when it's on a hillside, like in Barren Blood.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Torture Duckling has a lot of those, too. Like,
or the Gorgon.
Yeah.
The Gorgon, like the set of the Gorgon, there's just like this weird vertical village there, and these people have these gorgeous rooms with French doors that open up onto little patios, and what they're really out there is like this pathway that people could be walking right by your house. It's so weird.
Also, like I like that her tombstone has more how much did that tombstone cost? It's got like a whole novel on it.
It was
It's like
beautiful.
for literally a Jane Doe. It's like you washed up on the shore with such promise.
It was like the crawl for episode 7.
Yeah, it was like somebody found this body on the beach. It's like, I feel really bad. This beautiful girl died on the beach, and all her makeup still looks perfect. So I'm gonna pay for this really long. I want a movie about that guy, about the guy that paid all the money for that tombstone, and why, how much it cost, the artist that made it. That's what we need.
She was beautiful, even though she was dead.
Yeah,
Margot saw pieces with Extra. What a fucking double feature that is. Jesus Christ.
Change your life if you saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That just jumped out at me from the chat. That's provocative language, Margot Janu. We love it here. This is amazing. Extra, I don't know why people hate on Extra.
Yeah,
like, it's so good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like the same people that hate on Possession. I read some negativity about
Possession.
I
know.
About, because it's on Shudder, so it's
right.
All of a sudden, people are acting like you should go watch Possession, but they're like, oh, it's elitist bullshit. It's just
yeah, that Shudder crowd, they get really goofy, because if it's anything other than, just dumb shocks like Necromantic or Possession, there's hatred. There's just absolute hatred for it.
It has I think at one point Possession had 4 stars, and I was like, or 4 skulls, and I was like, okay, so whatever. I'm trying to be like, I know when something doesn't work for me, and if it works for other people, that's cool.
Yeah, whatever, Yeah. I don't care.
Hey, you want to see what came in the mail, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're dying to see what came in the mail. We may have had a little sneak peek earlier.
Yeah, so we got Dustin Ferguson's new movie, and guess what? I actually liked it. I'm saying something nice here. Beyond the Gates of Hell. Maybe because it is his kind of like, what do you call it? It's pretty much the Beyond, but like a lo-fi the Beyond. But it's got really good music in it, so and I dug it. I dig it. It's Valentine's Day gift. Look at that, Pearl. I finally got it on.
That movie.
Oh, Pearl. I like Pearl.
This is from Kino Lorber, early canon film, Body and Soul.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, Leon Isaac Kennedy and Jane Kennedy.
Yeah, and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. And Muhammad Ali. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah, so that's from Scorpion.
Far out.
And that is just got re-released on Blu-ray. It's gonna be out.
That's directed by the editor of and director of Galaxina.
Oh yeah, George Bowers.
George Bowers, yeah.
And then we got from Mill Creek. Mill Creek's doing multi-packs again, so that's exciting. This one has Call the Conqueror, The Cowboy Way, The Jackal, and End of Days. This is like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Pack. These ones are really exciting. This is the Thrillers from the Vault collection.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Ooh.
It's
that's good stuff.
The Black Room, not the one that Bill and I love, but the one with Boris Karloff.
Right.
The man they could not hang, Before I Hang, The Man with 9 Lives, The Devil Commands, The Boogeyman Will Get You, The Return of the Vampire, and 5. So it's a pretty cool, I think, Poverty Row thrillers. And then another one in that same set, the sci-fi from the Vault, that says Creature with the Atom Brain, Came from Beneath the Sea, 20 Million Miles to Earth, and The 30-Foot Ride of Candy Rock. So kind of a cool set. These are on Blu-ray too. They put these out before on DVD, but these are on Blu-ray, and they also have bonuses, audio commentaries, and 2 different docs on each Blu-ray. So these are, I think these are pretty, like under $20 too. So they're kind of cool packages to check out. That's what came in this week.
Oh, I got something to show too.
Awesome.
Oh,
I do. Bill's gonna.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I'll give you some time, Bill.
I would act it out as you talked about it.
Oh yeah, okay. I got this from the museum store online of the Motion Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. This is new. This just came out, and it's a little board book, as you can see, and it's called My First Giallo Horror. Okay, and I'll show you some pages here because they're great. There's Screaming Mimi and All the Colors of the Dark. And then we have, of course, leather gloves,
Naturally.
and naturally. And then I'm going to go click here. We have sharpened knives, evil eyes, point of view, right there from Deep Red. And, oh, Sam, you had a great review of this one.
No, thank you.
Fantastic review. Telekinesis Phenomenon is a favorite. And then we have, lastly, if I get this over here, figure it out. It says here, she gave you all the clues. And on the back, there's obviously a blurb. It says, start your kids' cinephilia early with this groovy, gorgeous guide to all things Giallo. Edgar Wright. There you go. They have two others I should get. They have Noir, My First Noir, and My First French New Wave. So,
Oh, wow.
The Jean-Luc Godard. I'm sure that one looks good, but this is really cool.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
You guys should
It's
pick
cute,
this up.
but it's a little disturbing.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. Look at the cover of that. Isn't that just great?
Like, could you imagine sitting down and looking at that
With your child? Yeah, like, okay, see the leather gloves. That's the killer.
The disturbing part, yeah.
Well, all those kids that sat next to us at the drive-in a couple ones ago, Bill, we should have gave them that book before they watched.
Oh my God, those
Oh.
poor kids.
Yeah,
that was like the first night of Palooza, and it was What Have You Done to Solange?
Solange.
And there was this family with maybe 4 or 5 kids seemed to be with them, and they were making a big party night at being at the drive-in, and the movie started, and they put their sleeping bags down on the lawn, and we're laying there watching this movie, and all of a sudden there's a victim with a knife that's been shoved up inside her vagina.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the kids got up and left. They just went and got in the car.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they pulled out or not, but
it ended quite quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was disturbing.
Hang on. There we go. I'm back. I was frozen there for a second.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. I was frozen, but here. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, look, you've got movies that the titles tell you your children should not be watching them.
Yeah.
What have you done to Solange? Well, it's not anything good.
Yeah.
Something terrible happened
Or
to Solange.
Lizard in a Woman's Skin, right? Another one they read after.
Oh, a beautiful, beautiful film.
Oh, that's an amazing film. Boy, talk about the Fulcis
skin.
Yeah, the first three. I don't consider. I consider Fulci's 3 films. What was the first one he did, Sam? I'm drawing a blank here. The first Giallo.
Oh,
it was
one
before
on top
Lizard.
of the other.
One on top of the other. I don't count that. Lizard in a Woman's Skin and Don't Torture a Duckling and The Psychic, which last time I was here we showed The Psychic. Those are fantastic films. They're all great. They're amazing.
Next week, we already teased our 2 movies, so we should be.
I thought we had one movie next week.
Well, one movie is next week. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Next week we're going to be doing Guru the Mad Monk.
My favorite Andy Milligan film.
Yeah.
We did an Andy Milligan single show on Halloween with The Rats Are Coming, The Werewolves Are Here.
Oh, this one's much better.
Guru the Mad Monk is it's way up there with my favorite Milligan. I haven't seen all of them yet, so I never know. He continues to impress me with each new one I see.
They're in their own universe.
Mike boycotting.
Mike hates it. You're just being provocative, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, come on.
What's not to like about Guru that you would like another one?
Well, you like Torture Dungeon or The Man with Two Heads better? Those are good. I mean, for Milligan, but this one's really good. I think.
I haven't seen it. Well, no, I have. I've seen it, but not enough to make a decision of where it fits into movies that I like. So I'm gonna watch it again this week.
You're the one that suggested it. I
know that's because I want to watch it again.
I put together movies you suggested.
And then I saw it, Bill. You showed the trailer for The Incubus with John Cassavetes.
Yes,
that's made in Ontario. I forget, my friend Robert would be able to tell me what town that was made in. But anyway, that one is great because the dialogue of drunken John Cassavetes as the coroner in that movie is fantastic. He's always going on and on about dry intercourse and copious amounts of red semen and ruptured vaginas. It's just it's an in-your-face, obnoxious movie, which is what makes it great.
I just watched Cassavetes' last directed movie, Big Trouble, which is rough. Watch.
It's not good. It's not very good.
He did it as a favor for Peter Falk.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's not Cassavetes' material. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, and again, I was writing it, and I'm like, oh, he had problems with the studio. And I should did I even have to write that? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Bill, did you do the birthdays too? That we had.
Oh, there we go. We got a birthday.
Thank you for reminding me. A very happy birthday to our own Jennifer Upton. Who was celebrating her birthday in London tonight. Well, now it's the next day, so her birthday was yesterday. Yeah. But cheers to you, Jen Upton. Happy birthday.
Yeah. Hopefully you watch this tomorrow and you're like, oh, they remembered.
Yeah.
Was there another birthday I'm not remembering?
No, that's Jen's was the one.
Okay.
That I remembered, at least. If it's your birthday and I missed it, I'm sorry. But you know.
Yeah. Every once in a while, like we'll do a show, and then the next day or the day after, I see it was somebody's birthday. That's always in the chat. Yeah. So happy birthday if it's your birthday today.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody.
Room mirror, Bill, so we can look out and see when it's people's birthdays.
Yeah, it's great to see so many people in the chat here at this hour.
Yeah,
I'm seeing on Facebook we have 13. I don't know how many are over on YouTube. But
we have 18 in total, so there's like 5 people watching on YouTube.
That's great for this time of the morning.
Yeah,
I know. And everybody who's watching, if you click like on the video, that will help people find the video easier. And we would thank you and love you.
And don't forget, if you have requests, send them on Facebook to either one of us, and we'll add them to the big list of requests that we have on Letterboxd now. They actually track requests, so we know. And we'll take stuff off that list as we watch it. There's also I also have a Letterboxd list of movies we have watched, as well as past drink recipes. So if you're like, hey, did they ever show this? What I should do, I should go back and get the YouTube links for episodes and attach them onto the ones we've shown. That's
people can find it. You know, I forgot to mention, Sam. I would suggest you have a Letterboxd list for movies with batshit science. That would be The Kirlian Witness, Four Flies on Grey Velvet, The Core, these movies that make no sense whatsoever in a world with actual science on this planet.
I was listening to the Video Archives podcast, and they mentioned the bullshit science in Four Flies. And
yeah, they did.
It's like, I buy that more than the Eyes of Laura Mars bullshit.
That's
her big bullshit.
Yeah, that's a bullshit one too. But I love movies with bullshit science.
Yeah,
like Kirlian Witness. So.
Well, I didn't get to say, Bill. Sorry, I know you're waiting to show these, but what I want to add with Kirlian Witness is back in the 70s, my mom had a biofeedback thing that went into the plants. You remember that? They were like a metal stick, and they had like a thing, and they would, as you watered them, they would make sound if they were happy or not, and it would tell you like how happy the plant was. It was complete bullshit science.
Well, the name of that Russian scientist's book was, somebody wrote a book, The Secret Life of Plants, and then that was the Stevie Wonder album.
Yeah.
So that's where they got that nonsense.
Yeah. Well, the idea of being able to take those kind of photos of them, it's funny because I asked one of the guys on the show that came to visit, a police officer, and I was telling him about it. He goes, oh, man, I've never heard of a case with plants, but we did have a case once where we had to bring a parakeet to court because the parakeet heard something that could be repeated and said like a sentence. And I was like, wow. He goes, but never a plant. He goes, I'm probably going to try to watch that now.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. As I said, nobody in the chat wanted to run me out of town and say I should never be on the show again for picking that movie. I think everybody
still ahead of what do you call it? What's the barometer?
Damnation Alley is the low bar. Remember,
that's as low as it goes. And
it's only that in spirit. I mean,
I know.
We love Uncle Spooky.
I know, I do too. But No, the problem with Damnation Alley is it's not intrinsically a bad movie. It's a boring movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's not what we like here. I mean,
it's not
these are
bullshit enough to be amusing.
no, it's not. I mean, we
It's
show movies that are slow. I mean, people might argue that, Curious Witness is a slow burn or Venus and Furs is a slow burn, but they're interesting,
Yeah.
It's
and
got no
that's
energy.
it's got they both have energy for sure. And Curious Witness runs what, like 70 some minutes or something and change. I mean, it moves by quickly. You know what? That it almost seemed like that would have been a good Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah.
Or you're watching Night Gallery,
Yeah.
Sam. I wanted to talk about that a little bit because I remember watching that show when it originally ran when I was younger, and I thought that I totally agree with your viewpoint on that. That it's a schizophrenic show because it has a split personality and a big fight between the vision of Rod Serling, a genius, and the vision of Jack Laird, a moron.
Yeah.
And you've captured all those episodes perfectly because the Jack Lord stuff is really terrible. And then here comes the Serling stuff, and it's usually pretty great.
I guess by the third season, Sterling wasn't even turning anything in. He was just like, fuck it. He was doing college tours and doing spoken word and stuff, and just wanted to be done with the show. And yeah, it's hard because you can see that Jack Laird's influences are universal monsters are as scary as he gets, and he just wants to look at these. It's very much like a 66 Batman treatment of horror. And with occasionally a good story or two, but not great. And
he's got Leslie Nielsen as Phantom of the Opera, for God's sake.
The one with Leslie Nielsen is the hunter and the haunted house and the weird ending with Nazi. That one's okay.
That one's okay. Yeah, you just reviewed that one.
Yeah.
But I mean, the classic episodes on there, the one obviously the earwig, the one with the doll, the possessed doll.
The Sin Eater one's really rough.
The Sin Eater one, the one with Pickman's model, the Lovecraft one. Those are excellent. I mean,
what about the mermaid one?
The mermaid one, right? But
I see that one all the time, and the one with Leonard Nimoy, where the cats are haunting him.
Oh yeah,
that one's pretty good.
Like the Roddy McDowell story in one of the first episodes, and is really good too.
Is that the one where the figure in the painting keeps getting closer and closer?
Yeah. They're closing down Tim Riley's bar. I mean, the ones that are good are super good.
Well, Laird changed the ending of that too, where it wasn't supposed to have the happy ending.
Yeah,
which gets put.
How about the one? Have you seen the one? It's called A Big Surprise, the one with John Carradine that tells the little boys, dig under this tree, dig this hole. There's a big surprise for you.
That's scary.
I mean, that's a Richard I believe that's a Richard Matheson, I think.
Yeah.
But that one's great. I mean, it's a strange show. It's schizophrenic. When it's good, it's really good. When it's Jack Lord, it's not good at all.
It's just strange because Serling stuff's very he were beyond Twilight Zone darkness, like the one with Ken Howard, where he's the little kid that can see the future, and I just saw Tracy just brought it up. I just saw it when I looked over, and it's wow,
there it is.
That one's really, really, really scary, and it's just eerie, and it's just well done. And then there are these the kind of next level Twilight Zone morality, really dark plays on humanity. And then you have Leslie Nielsen in a 2-minute sketch as a vampire, and it's I don't want to see this. I don't need the edge taken off with anything.
Wait, the boy who predicted earthquakes was the one where at the end he tells everybody that there's going to be some big change in the world.
Yeah.
And everything's going to get really good, and then he tells the people around him, he's like, there's going to be a supernova.
Yeah.
The earth is going to be burned to a cinder.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what used to piss me off, though, is when that show was in syndication and they would run the Gary Collins, The Sixth Sense, that they split up because they didn't have enough episodes for syndication. And and they were cutting basically those Sixth Sense shows down from an hour.
Yeah, they cut all this shit out of them.
They never made any sense.
They didn't make any sense. That's the one that I used to hunt, that one that was Dear Joan, We're Gonna Scare You to Death. Because it was sampled on a Thrill Kill Call album.
Oh, okay.
I was dying to see it. And then finally I found it because Sci-Fi was rerunning Night Gallery, and I was like, this doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No, because
Well, then I got a
cut
hold of the
down.
full-length Sixth Sense episode, and I was like, oh, now it makes
Yeah.
sense. Like
Also,
now
they were cutting down some of the episodes of Night Gallery,
Yeah.
like trimming them, and then also
yeah.
not putting them in the right aspect ratio, and like they were like they just look really bad. And like that's what I originally watched because that's all the syndication ones were all
Mhm.
that was available, and I still liked it. But then
Oh, I
like
know.
finally DVD sets came out, I was like, oh shit, it's
Yeah,
great.
that's a good topic though, maybe Sam for a month to talk about your favorite obscure anthology TV shows.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Tales of
Ghost
the
Stories.
Unexpected, the British one is excellent, I think.
The William Castle Ghost Story shows.
Oh, Ghost Story, Full Circle.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's good. That one's
Tales
really
of the
good.
Unexpected was so good. That was one of the ones we could get in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that one is terrific. They had a lot of Roald Dahl stories on there.
Do you remember the one where the guy was going to kill his wife and he gives her poison chocolates?
Yep.
And then she turns out like she gave the chocolates to his mistress.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
And of course, it's got the famous story, the man from the South with the lighter, the Zippo lighter, that Tarantino actually did in 4 rooms with, God bless him, Bruce Willis, who's not doing real well now. Remember, he's going to give him a car if the lighter will light like 10 times in a row. Otherwise, he's going to cut his finger off. The old guy has this bet. Remember that one?
Yeah.
You probably saw the Tarantino version.
Yeah, they also did it on the 80s Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah, that's right. They've done it a bunch of times because
Yeah.
it's such a good story. I mean, it's great.
I really like Monsters a lot too. I
love Monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters. What was the one, the Christmas one with the alien? The real heart tugging one where the alien comes at Christmas time and they kill the alien. What's he, Gloopy?
Oh, I know the one where the aliens come to Earth to remake the last season of the TV show with the guy.
Yeah, Darren McGavin's on that one.
Yeah.
That's probably the best of that entire run of Monsters.
Yeah,
that one's
Tales from the Dark Side is great though of those because you get to see a lot of guys do their first work. Plus, John Harrison worked on it. It's got a lot of Romero influence and stuff. So it's sometimes, but it's one of those shows that the budget, whenever it's somebody that could work with that small budget and learn from it, it's really good. And when it's somebody that couldn't, it's not good. It's really good.
You've usually got like 2 B- lister TV stars, and it's like a closed one set, kind of one location plays. But you know what? Like, what's the one with Fritz Weaver with the Savini monster in the closet? I think that's called the. I think that's called the Jobs. Yeah, that one's great. I mean,
it's funny because I asked Harrison about that, and he's like, I love doing. Because he got to work on Monsters and that all the way up to he's still doing episodes of Creepshow now for Shuttle, and then he did several of his Tales from the Crypt, and he goes, "Oh my God, the Tales from the Crypt budgets were like 20 episodes of Tales from the Dark Side."
We lost AC Nicholas again.
I'm excited. I keep staring at this ghoulie.
Yeah, this is another ad I pulled from the London series on Groovy Dome. And here comes AC Nicholas back.
Good.
I think so. It looks like we're getting there. I'm amazed that this movie actually showed anywhere.
Yeah, I always thought it was just a VHS movie.
It did get released in London.
Man.
I'm gonna see if I can bring him back.
Should be back.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hi there.
It wasn't showing that your camera was on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with my thing. It just dropped. But no, I remember Ghoulies played in the theater. I didn't see it in the theater, but it did actually play in the States.
I know it played here. I'm just amazed it got released in anywhere, any other territory other than here before it went to video. I don't know. Maybe I never thought enough about Ghoulies. Okay. Maybe it's just not one of my favorite movies.
That's what it is. It's those Charles Band franchise series movies that they're like the law of diminishing returns. I mean, How many Puppet Master movies did he do?
I
Sam?
just watched Doctor Death, the new one.
Oh, God, what is that? 13 of them?
I think 14. I think
14. Yeah, okay.
Hey, there's a new subspecies coming out. I'm super into it. So it's got Andrew Holm in it. It's got all the stuff. So I'm gonna watch it. I showed Becca the trailer, and she's like, "Well, I guess we're gonna watch it."
Yeah, we're gonna watch it. Oh, here's a favorite here. It's gonna play the drive-in. Night of the Comet.
That's a good one too.
That's a really good movie.
What drive-in is it playing?
Did that play at the drive-in? That's what I meant to say. God, I'm getting loopy here. Didn't Night of the Comet play at the Monstrama?
I don't remember. Probably.
I thought it did.
It's not playing this year, though.
No, it's not playing.
It's not playing in
I thought it
April.
did play. I thought it did play at one of the Aprils. I can't remember.
I really love this movie.
Oh, I do too. It's got Mary Warnov in it. It's got, Catherine Mary Stewart, Kelly Maroney. Great cast.
Yeah.
Good director.
Yeah.
The guy that directed this also directed Without a Clue, which is that funny Sherlock Holmes movie with Michael Caine and Sir Ben Kingsley.
He also the other thing too. I love the end of it has nobody on the streets because they shot it on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, right. Daddy would have given us Susie's, right?
Yeah, space vampires.
Space vampires. There you go.
I love the way this ad breaks into everything else, Bill. That's an amazing design.
Yeah. This was, I just wanted to show this to you, how big this was in London, because that's where it's set.
Yep.
Isn't it set in London?
Yeah, definitely. That's Toby Hooper's Quatermass movie. It's his Hammer film. I think that's what he always called it. Because it really does look like the biggest budget Hammer film ever made.
It's one of the first really big Canon budgets.
I love you, Steve Wilson.
They went all on the effects. The shaving budget was out of control.
The Merkin budget.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, that's a great movie. Notice it's playing at the Leicester Square Theater. That must have been really a place for the movies that we would have all loved, Bill, because you've shown a couple tonight that were playing at Leicester Square.
Piccadilly Circus too.
Yeah, down there.
There was lots of sleazy stuff going on in Piccadilly.
Oh, definitely. That's a great ad.
They had good films. I don't know what they consisted of, because of course the British film censors were snipping all that good stuff out. So
Mary Whitehouse, right? Wasn't that her name?
Because a lot of stuff did play in theaters, and when it came out on video, that's when it got cut. And they're like, but didn't this play theaters? Here's my head.
I'm changing it up with the camera.
I know, I gotta find it. Just when I find the center, you change it.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's the third segment. I don't want you to get too comfortable.
No, that's a good idea.
Always pulling the rug out from under you.
No, that's good. Well, I'm excited we watched these tonight, and I'm glad that everybody seemed to enjoy them. I know the second movie's got its issues, but I'm glad people seem to enjoy it and get into the world of it. And thanks for being open-minded, as always, and getting to check these out. I'm excited for more Andy Milligan next week.
Yeah, Guru.
Yeah.
I
love that movie so much.
Yeah, as I said, that's my favorite of his films. Mike Justice thinks it's not bad enough and not good enough. I think he had a thing in the chat where he said it was like mid-range Milligan. I don't know. It's my favorite. Although Mike says
a little bit.
Mike
it's
says
a little restrained.
Yeah, it's restrained for Milligan. Stuff. Mike says he loved Venus and Furs. I want to live in it. Yeah, you kind of want to live in that universe, don't you? With lots of jazz and lots of Hepcat dialogue and lots of furniture, lots of walking on the beach.
I want to live in that world.
Yeah.
And then when I get tired of that world, I want to take a vacation into the world of Bay of Blood.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Where I can go at that heavily wooded bay, which was really not heavily wooded at all, and Mario Bava just made you think it was. But I want that to be a real place where I can go and live in that strange vertical community with mid-century houses full of fabulous lamps and furniture. That's where I want a vacation.
Absolutely.
It'd be an
Absolutely.
Airbnb, but whatever.
I want to one of the houses that Argento used for his movies. You know what I mean? Where there's these space age kind of places, especially Tenebrae has a
Yeah.
couple of those that are
Oh
super.
yeah, boy, that looked some of the buildings there. You know, I love that movie because he didn't show you the tourist side of Rome. He showed you
Yeah,
like back alleys and weird like suburbs and places you didn't see in movies most of the time.
he does get in the book Fear. He does get into the post-apocalyptic nature of that movie as
Oh,
well as
that's bullshit. I mean,
and the idea that phenomena set in a world where the Nazis won World War II.
that's bullshit.
He mentioned it, so I was happy that he mentioned it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I love you. I love you all.
Yes. Oh, so good. It's wild seeing it on the 4K because it's like it's funny because the music video that he did for the song Jennifer is on it too, and they must have just pulled that from quarter 8 tape. You know what I mean? It looks like it's a VHS level
Yeah.
compared to the rest of the stuff on the disc is like amazing. But there's I think 4 commentary tracks on it. There's a new 2-hour long doc. A lot of the stuff that was on the new Arrow release of it got shared with this.
Don't they even have the cut down shitty Creepers version, the U.S.
There's
version?
3 cuts of it. There's the Italian
The international version, right?
yeah, and the U.S. Creepers one, and the Italian one's I think 122 minutes. That's 6 minutes more than it's in the other, and it doesn't even have. It's not all translated, so some of it appears like in Italian with subtitles for the stuff they didn't translate. So I forgot how fast that movie moves. Like
it's amazing. I just saw it here recently. It's great.
Yeah. Also, like it's funny when the other. It's not funny. It's Argento. I don't know. It's weird, maybe. In his book, when he talks about Fiore, his first daughter, it's like rarely gets mentioned to the level like Aja gets mentioned. Like she's a goddess every time she's mentioned, and it's just like, oh yeah, I was so excited to have my daughter in Phenomena. Her head gets cut off right in the beginning.
Yeah, she gets killed after the big crane shot.
Yeah. I put her head through a plate glass window, and then her head goes flying out of
down the waterfall, rolls around a little bit in the water. Yeah.
Thank you for being my baby girl. Yeah, it's it's interesting how often she gets brought up. But yeah, and that Bee Gees shirt in Phenomena is awesome too. That the one girl has on. It's seeing that in high def really life changing. So
I stuck that shot into the show intro. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, that's
where
why
her head goes through the plate glass window.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Phenomena.
Yeah, the first time I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" That's another like kind of back that he refers to that and operas, like kind of especially the end of operas is like back to nature films because he found like this new love for nature at that point. So his anecdotes are alarming at times. They're very interesting. My favorite part is like him showing Deep Red to his brother and his dad, and they hated it. And like, you have to cut so much of this movie out. Like, you have to just get rid of it. And what the fuck is that doll? And like he said, even the day they were shooting, people were making fun of him, telling him how dumb the doll was. And he's like, now people talk about it all the time. He's like, I've won. Like, I'll always be the winner in this situation. Like, I was right to stick to my guns, and I stick to my guns no matter what. He said the same thing. Like, he's like in Tenebrae, he's like, people said I didn't need that crane shot. I did.
Yeah.
It's in there. And like I don't care. People were arguing with me, and it's like, yeah, of course.
Sam, does he say anything about Two Evil Eyes?
Yes. He said that he was very unhappy with Romero's part of it. He said he felt that Romero didn't care as much. And I guess they got in a big fight when they were doing sound editing. Where he told him your attention's too divided and your section's not too good. He originally just wanted to do a documentary about Poe, and he had traveled and spent a lot of time there. And then it was like, oh, let's do this movie. And it was also going to have Toby Hooper,
Craven, Carpenter,
and Craven, and yeah, all 5 of them. And man, who knows what Toby Hooper would have done with one of these stories. And it's pretty wild. And then, but then it just like got whittled down. They had to pick new stories and kind of get to it. He said that the other thing he talks about is when he went to visit Romero's when he was living in Florida, and I don't know why he wouldn't know this, but he was shocked by how many senior citizens are in Florida, and it really upset him how it was just all old people, and he couldn't see any young people at the beach. He said everywhere it was just like wrinkled sunburned skin, is what he said. And he's like,
Well, I mean, here's a guy who put always gorgeous-looking people in his movies.
Yeah,
And
there
everybody
was
looks
no other
great.
kind of world.
Right, exactly. But no, you know what? Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I actually don't mind Romero's version of Two Evil Eyes. I think it's pretty scary in spots. It's creepy.
Yeah.
It's good. Argento's part is clearly superior by far. I mean, it's Argento, and he's got Harvey Keitel working for him too, which that's to me that's amazing.
Yeah.
he got Harvey Keitel in an
I actually did
Argento
see
movie.
that in the theater. It played the only
I
theater.
did too. It played in the theater a little bit.
It played Northway Mall's Dollar Theater for like 2 weeks, and I was like, because that was back in the time when I was nonstop scanning the Pittsburgh Press for what was playing places, and I'm like, well, we gotta. And I was.
I don't remember if I saw that theatrically.
My dad used to get both papers when I was a boy, the Post-Gazette in the morning and the Press in the afternoon, and I used to do the same thing.
Yep.
The other thing he made me do was I always had to look at like the last couple of digits of the Treasury number because he had some sort of expensive like raffle ticket that was based on like the last 4 digits, and you could have won a lot of money. So it's like, Dad, the number today is like 568 or 7, whatever. But I looked there like you did, Bill and Sam, looking at the long column with the drive-ins that were in both papers. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah.
listed the Dependable was in there, and the Greater Pittsburgh, and all the drive-ins.
A magical time.
Oh, very magical. I wish those days would come back.
Can they come back?
I don't
Have
know.
they come back?
Well, they're here. They're here in spirit, gentlemen.
They
are coming back
for 2 days, Bill, when we go to the drive-in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, things like that still happen. They really haven't gone away. And a lot of these movies, like we said earlier, they're sort of obscure-ish, but they're being rediscovered and they're being reissued in these fabulous looking new scans. So it's not going away. And as long as people keep talking about it and keep appreciating it, it will continue, and we'll have more wonderful gems from the past.
As long as you guys keep doing what you're doing and the folks in the chat keep talking about these movies, they'll live forever.
I think so too, hopefully, or at least until we die, right?
Yeah. You'll know when Sybil Danning tweets about me. That's how you'll know I'm dead.
Sam
died. Here's all my movies that he ever wrote about.
Right.
Yeah. Sam really liked Malibu Express. I'm in that. Also, here's a picture of me with Willie Nelson.
All right. So many thanks to our special guest host, AC Nicholas, for joining us this evening, and also Gene from the Monsterama, who dropped in on the first segment. So thanks, you guys. It's always a pleasure to see you, AC.
Oh, man, same here. You guys are the best. I have the best time here. Hope you'll have me back sometime.
Yes.
Probably sometime soon, right?
Yes.
I'm here. I don't go anywhere. I have no life. I just sit and turn Tubi on and see what's on there.
Neither do we.
I read the fanzine. I read your website, VNS About Movies. I mean, that's basically my existence.
Get ready for more Jess Franco this week.
I am. I'm definitely ready.
Yeah.
I didn't know he made kids films.
2 of them. Who knew?
Thank you, Sam. Who knew?
Yeah, Gold Bug and 15-year-old Captain. I'm sure there's going to be more that just randomly show up. Who would trust him to make movies for kids? I ask.
I have no idea.
Someone. He was like,
well, somebody trusted Herschel Gordon Lewis to make kids movies.
I mean, somebody trusted Al Adamson to make Carnival Magic. So, I mean, anything is possible. Thank you, Bill, for everything, as always, putting all this together.
All right. Thanks much to everybody who came to hang out with us tonight. We certainly appreciate it, and we hope you'll join us next week, 11 p.m. Saturday night. It's just one movie. We're watching Guru the Mad Monk and Andy Milligan freak out that I'm sure you're going to enjoy, and Sam ghosted on us.
He's already freaking out.
Sam, what happened? He blinked in and out before, so maybe
Yeah,
I'll just
I was
cut out of
blinking
here.
in and out here. So
Good night, everybody. And come hang out with us next weekend. We'll be looking for you. Ciao.
ciao. Bye bye.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.